Well, thank you, Ryan, and good morning to you all. It's a pleasure to be here and an honor to represent the Travis Manion Foundation. My name is Todd Morris, and I'd like to spend just a few minutes talking with you about servant leadership. To that end, I'll cover 3 topics. I'll tell you about my experience in the military. I'll explain how I came to know this great foundation. And lastly, I'll share with you what it is that Jeff and I do as ambassadors for this wonderful organization that you support. So like Travis Manion, I was fortunate to attend the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. The Academy is a great academic institution, but it's also a leadership laboratory, causing its students to regularly tweak their leadership style so that when they graduate and become officers, they have a style that suits their own personality. In my opinion, some of the best graduates of the Academy are servant leaders. And a servant leader is somebody who puts the needs of their organization and those under their charge ahead of themselves with consistency. Because when that happens, over a long period of time, others in the organization will mirror that servant leadership mentality. And the ultimate result is that the whole performance of the organization will improve. After graduating from the Academy, I accepted my commission on active duty to serve in the Navy. I served for 7 years, first on board ship, and ultimately with the Army in Iraq. My last tour of duty in 2007 and 2008 was as an artillery officer with a battery based in Baghdad. So we were assigned to a defensive role on the west side of Baghdad, and our job was to shoot down rockets that insurgent forces were firing at us. Now these rockets are called Katyusha rockets, so they're about the size of an adult human leg. They're stuffed full of shrapnel pieces, so metal, ball bearings, and explosives. And these are dumb munitions, meaning they do not have any internal guidance system. Instead, insurgents would simply aim them in the direction they wanted to shoot, connect some wires off the back of the rocket to a car battery, which would ignite the rocket and send it out into the air. When these rockets fly over your head, they emit an ear-splitting screech because they're traveling at about the speed of sound. When they run out of fuel, they crash into the ground and explode, sending all that shrapnel in every direction around you. So our job was to try to shoot these down. Now I must tell you that the fact that these are dumb munitions added a level of randomness to their use, which kind of builds the tension that one feels when you serve in a war zone where these are being used. So I must say that serving in Iraq changed my life in a positive way. It's changed who I am. It's changed the way I lead people, and I'm grateful for the experiences I've had serving our nation. In 2008, I got out of the military, and I attended Columbia Business School in New York City. The idea there was to complete a career transition and to pursue a lifelong dream of becoming a professional investor. And that transition led me to Poland Capital, a firm based in Boca Raton, Florida, where Jeff and I both serve on the investment team. We serve some of the most important people in the world at Poland Capital: teachers, nurses, firefighters, police officers, and municipal retirees are all among our client roster. We also like to partner with great organizations such as the Travis Manion Foundation by getting out into our community and serving. So that's a bit about my background, but how did I come to know this amazing organization? To answer that question, I need to take you back to Annapolis. My roommate at the Naval Academy was a guy named Carlo Pecori, and when we graduated, Carlo accepted his commission in the United States Marine Corps. We graduated in 2001, so you can do the math and figure out he specifically spent a lot of time in Iraq. Now, on Carlo's last deployment to Iraq, he served in the same unit as Travis Manion. The two men met and became good friends, and in the last 10 years, I've had the chance to talk with Carlo on many occasions about the type of person that Travis Manion was, and about the type of leader that Travis Manion was. Travis excelled at many things. He was an amazing athlete, a great student, and a real leader of men and women. One thing that comes through in all the conversations that Carlo has had with me about Travis Manion is that he was a servant leader. At every turn, Travis put the needs of his Marines and his unit ahead of himself, and it benefited the entire organization. So Carlo challenged me a few years ago to become involved with the Travis Manion Foundation. I looked into the foundation and was amazed. And I came back to Florida and asked Jeff to join me as an ambassador in the Character Does Matter speaker series. And in this series, we go out into our community and we interact with young Americans. And we deliver a message about the importance of character. And we reflect on the example of sacrifice and service that our nation's fallen veterans provide. It's a very well-crafted message that the organization has done a great job putting together. So we are the delivery mechanism for this message. It's all about honoring our nation's fallen veterans through a challenge to the living. And so we impart this challenge on our nation's young Americans, with the idea being that in the future they may pay this forward. Before I pass it to Jeff, I just want to share with you one story about our interaction with this program. See, Jeff and I have given numerous speeches to hundreds of South Florida youth now, but I want to share with you the story of our first speech. So we attended training in the Philadelphia area with the foundation, came back to Florida, and pounded the pavement looking for an opportunity to deliver our speech. And after about a month of asking, we finally got our opportunity. So we prepared diligently. We tried to think through every possible, knowable detail of the speech, and we practiced repeatedly. After all that preparation, we walked into a classroom in a local area high school, and there sat our audience, 28 baseball players. I must say that because the organization's done such a good job putting together the presentation, it lands very well. And you could see that in the faces of the young men in the audience. They were following our movements around the room. They were asking questions. They were engaged. But what I want to share with you is what happened afterwards. We walked out into the hallway, and I looked down, and my hands were trembling. And I looked over to Jeff, and I said, I can't believe how good I feel. You see, up until that moment, everything we were doing had been about going out and projecting, presenting, serving. Not once had I stopped to think about what this program would do for myself and for my fellow veterans. So what I wanted to share with you is the idea that this is about a winning proposition. Everybody wins here. Young Americans are presented with a message about the importance of character in everything you do in life. Veterans are given an opportunity to serve again, not overseas, but right here at home. Lastly, and most importantly, if some of the members in the audiences of these speeches, these young Americans, take our message, pay it forward, go out and serve, think about the collective, the multiplicative impact this could have on what is already the greatest country in the world. We can make it that much better. So I want to thank you for supporting this amazing foundation. It's been a pleasure to be here, and now I'm going to pass it over to Jeff.